What is up, guys? Kid Critic is back with another episode of Talking Movies. And the voice isn't the best today, but we will work through it and have a spectacular show today. And without further ado, let's get down into some movie news with the first topic, which is LeBron James posted on his Twitter that the sequel to Space Jam, this time with LeBron James obviously, in the forefront, has gotten a release date of July 16th, 2021. What are your thoughts of this, Kid Critic? When I heard that they were making a sequel to Space Jam, I thought that sounded absolutely awesome because I think the first one is just lots of fun, and it's the only movie where you get to see Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny shoot some hoops on the court. It's the only place where you can see that. That's like a child's dream. And now, is it too late to make this movie? I kind of think it is, because I mean the movie's 23 years old. That's like almost 2.5 decades, and you don't hear many people talk about Space Jam like, oh my god, remember Space Jam and all that. You don't really hear much of that anymore. Now, when the movie came out, it did pretty good. It made $290 million with a $90 million budget, so it did fine. But you just don't hear Space Jam nowadays. I mean, I really enjoy the movie, but I'm not the only person. So I mean, and then with the release date, the only big names movies that are slated to come out in July of 2021 are Mission Impossible 7 and Indiana Jones 5, if that's ever gonna get made. And I don't think that it's the same audience with Space Jam there with those movies. So I think it'll be fine, and I think if the marketing hits its target audience really well, that I think it'll do good, and I cannot wait to see this. I mean, you see LeBron James with the Looney Tunes characters. I just cannot wait. And in the words of the Jackson 5, I'll be there. And with that said, guys, let's move on to the next topic, which is it has been confirmed that Chris Hemsworth is confirmed for playing Hulk Hogan in the new Hulk Hogan biopic that is going to be on Netflix and will focus on him getting his first title. The film will be directed by Todd Phillips. What are your thoughts of this, Kid Critic? So if you were to give me like a full-on trivia game on the WWE, I would be lost, because to be honest, I have no interest in WWE, but I obviously know who Hulk Hogan is, and I know his personality, and I know some of his story. So when this came out and they announced Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor, as Hulk Hogan, I was like, well, he definitely could be as physical as Hulk Hogan. I mean, I've seen the muscle on that man. I mean, that is the god of thunder there, folks. And I mean, I think this movie could actually play into more of his like comedic chops. I think it's gonna be more of a brighter movie than like a dark movie. Like I don't think it's gonna hit into like some dark stuff of Hulk Hogan's life, especially because he's a producer on it, so he's got his eye on that. And I'm really interested to see how Hemsworth plays him, because even though I'm not a big WWE fan, I do want to see how this goes down. And it also says that's going to focus more on his him rising up to getting his first championship. So it's not going to focus on his whole entire life. It's just going to focus on a portion of his life, because that's just a lot. And with Todd Phillips behind the camera, who I really like Todd Phillips, because I love The Hangover. The second one was not very good, but I actually enjoyed the third one, and I'm excited to see what he does with the new Joker movie, and I'm actually very interested in seeing this movie. And with that said, let's move on to the next topic, which is during an interview, Gwyneth Paltrow came out and said she is retiring from the MCU after Endgame, but she is definitely open to doing any cameos for any future MCU films. What are your thoughts on this, Kid Critic? While most people don't see the Pepper Potts character as like this huge character like an Iron Man or Thor or Captain America, she was one of the OGs, because she's been there since Iron Man, the first MCU movie. And I actually really enjoy her character in the MCU, and in a way she made the character of Tony Stark a lot better, because not only did she enhance the character, but she also gave stakes to his character, but because if he dies, you'd be like, oh no, what's going to happen to Pepper? And then that scene in Infinity War when he's on the spaceship was just amazing. You can kind of tell as after Iron Man 3 that she was kind of distancing herself from the MCU because she wasn't appearing in it as much, and people even thought she was out until she appeared back in Spider-Man Homecoming. So after, I do believe her that after Endgame she's out, but hey, she could come back from cameos, and you could say that she had basically had a cameo in Spider-Man Homecoming. But you can definitely tell that she wants to do other things. I mean, why not? And her character will be missed. And with that said, guys, let's move on to the next topic, which is a new trailer has come out for Rocket Man, which is the new Elton John fantasy that shows more of Taron Egerton's take of Elton John, and it will be released on May 31st, 2019. What are your thoughts on this, Kid Critic? Do you guys like these sunglasses on me? I think they look very nice. What are we talking about? The Rocket Man trailer. Oh, right. The Rocket Man trailer. So, this movie is supposed to be like a fantasy biopic of Elton John. I have to admit, well, my first reaction to the trailer, as it was playing, it looked more like more like a biopic than like this fantasy movie about Elton John. But you did get hints of that. But take that out of the way. I really liked this trailer. I think Taron Egerton looks fabulous as Elton John. And there's actually a featurette that came out a couple days ago that shows him basically transforming into Elton John. And he just looks phenomenal. Rami Malek level, I don't know, but he just looks great. And one of my favorite lines of the trailer is when Edgerton is talking to this guy, and the guy basically says, you gotta kill the person you were born to be in order to become the person you want to be. And I thought that line was fabulous, and it's probably gonna be even better in the movie in the way it plays into the story. And I cannot wait for this movie. I'm gonna have to make a tough decision for the weekend it comes out, because I believe it comes out the same weekend as Godzilla. So I have to choose between Elton John and Godzilla. Elton John versus Godzilla. Nobody cares about King Kong versus Godzilla. People care about Elton John versus Godzilla. That's going to be a very tough decision to make. And with that said, guys, let's move on to the next topic, which is Captain Marvel has just had its first screening, and the first social media reactions have come out, and they are marvelous. And the movie releases March 8th, 2019. What were your thoughts of this, Kid Critic? Now, you may be wondering that, like, is it those English Kid Critic sunglasses from 2 episodes ago? And yes, they are, but, he let me borrow them. We'll leave it at that. So, these Captain Marvel reactions come out. And I was expecting, like, oh, it was fun. Because that's what the trailers were showing me. Because I wasn't a big fan of the trailers. I thought they were fine. They're okay. They're decent. And the reactions come out, and they were marvelous. Get it? Marvelous. Captain Marvel. I make myself laugh. And not only that, but they say Ben Mendelsohn is really good in the movie. Like, I saw a lot of Ben Mendelsohn. Like, every other reaction I saw was of him. And I love Ben Mendelsohn, so I can't wait to see him in this movie. There's also lots of praise for Brie Larson, who I love. If you have not seen Room, not The Room, very different movie. But if you've not seen Room, I definitely recommend it. It's a great movie by a terrific performance, Oscar-winning performance by Brie Larson, and I thought she was great in this movie. And I'm glad that this movie is better than the trailers, but at the same time, I'm also glad that the trailers didn't show us the good stuff, basically, because that means the good stuff is saved for us to experience in the movie theater, and I just cannot wait for that. Now, before these reactions came out, I thought this movie was probably going to make north of $600 million, probably $700 million. But if reviews keep on wrapping up and they keep on saying this movie's awesome, with like a great buddy cop movie with Nick Fury, with a great just space action, with a terrific performance by both Brie Larson and Ben Mendelsohn, then I think this movie is probably going to do better than $700 million. I don't think it'll hit $1 billion. I think it has a chance of making 800, maybe even 850 million, and I just cannot wait to see Captain Marvel and see it in 2 weeks and I cannot wait because I'll be there. And with that said, guys, thank you for joining me on this fantabulous episode of Talking Movies, episode 6 with Kid Critic. And as always, look out for the next video or review, and peace.